Glad to have you with us here on Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here as we get you set for day number 2 of the 2024 NFL Draft. I have a mock draft for you of what the Seahawks, I believe they will do with their one pick that they have in day number 2 that comes in the third round. We'll break that down for you coming up in just a bit. Also going to take a look at some potential draft targets for Seattle here on day 2 and go over some numbers and scouting reports as well coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we get to that, though, quick plug, we are going to be live tomorrow, day number 3, Saturday, for rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the 2024 NFL Draft. Myself, Schmitty's going to be here with me, and if you thought we had a good time on Thursday night, you ain't seen nothing yet, folks. We are in for quite the treat. We're going to kick it back, let our hair down, if you will, enjoy ourselves, play some games, react to the picks as they happen. Don't miss out. Seahawks Today Live, our coverage gets going first thing Saturday morning right here on Seahawks Today. We will see you then. All right. For the Seahawks pick in the third round, remember they don't have a second-round pick, I have Seattle going with Kansas State tight end Ben Sinnott with the 81st overall selection. You may be saying to yourself, who is Ben Sinnott? What does he bring to the table for the Seattle Seahawks? Sinnott, very good tight end out of Kansas State. Rare speed and quicks combo for the position allows him to run routes like most tight ends can't. Willing run blocker. So he's not just a receiving tight end. He's a pretty solid blocker in his own right as well, which will help him stick around in the NFL. Shorter arms will limit his catch radius. Good acceleration and burst. He's flexible. This is somebody, folks, Ben Sinnott, he lined up everywhere at Kansas State. Wherever they put him, he was a success. A true plug-and-play guy, if you will. And a chain mover. He's somebody that was very good with his run-after-catch abilities and very light on his feet as well. So, overall, a good prospect. And the Seahawks find themselves in a position at the tight end spot where they need a second receiving tight end. Yes, you have Noah Fant there. And you have Pharaoh Brown, of course. Pharaoh Brown you bring over as a blocking tight end. But with what the Seahawks want to do with this air raid offense and trying to put themselves in the best position to attack their opponents, they're going to need to do some 12 personnel. They're going to need to put themselves in position to run those two tight end sets effectively. So what I'm looking for with this Seahawks team is if you bring in Ben Sinnott and you have him alongside Noah Fant, I think that's a game changer, and it keeps defenses on their toes. And then on top of that, you already have Tyler Lockett, DK, JSN, Kenneth Walker, and Zach Charbonnet. You would literally have no holes when it comes to your skill positions. You would look like a complete offense at that point. So Ben Sinnott, I think, would be a natural fit and could be a good find for Seattle with that pick there at 81. Now, let's ask you, what do you think of the Seahawks' first-round pick of Byron Murphy? Is he the man? I love that pick of Byron Murphy. What do you guys think? A, B, C, D, or F? Give me a grade for the Seahawks selection of Byron Murphy in the comment section below. Today's show is sponsored by our friends at Game Time, and I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Game Time. When I'm buying tickets, the only place I'm going is Game Time. I am not messing with any of the others because with Game Time, they're giving me the lowest prices guaranteed. Every time, every damn time, Game Time is saving me money with the best seats, the lowest prices. The prices drop as the event gets closer. Maybe you're deciding, do I want to go after work to this game tonight? Maybe you get a last-minute phone call from a buddy, hey, let's go to the Mariners game tonight. With Game Time, they make it so simple and so quick where if you decide on a whim that tonight is the night you're going to go see the Seattle Mariners or some other sporting event, comedy show, theater production, whatever it is, that you're going to be covered. You pick the event you want to go to. They get the prices listed. Then choose your seat. See if you like that seat or not. And you're checking out just like that. Within a matter of moments, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers, it's the place to go. It is made easy, made simple for you. And you can save $20 off your first purchase when you use the promo code ChatSports. So what are you waiting for? Download Game Time today. Terms and conditions do apply. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. $20 off, promo code ChatSports. Download Game Time now, and you will be glad you did. All right, let's talk day 2 targets for Seattle now. We already mentioned Ben Sinnott at the tight end position. So for the other draft targets, I want to look at other potential positions of need. Let's begin with Zach Frazier at the center position. I know some of you may be saying, well, we already have Oluwatimi. Why would you need Zach Frazier? And then when we talk about the interior of the offensive line, a lot of you, of course, mentioned Anthony Bradford. The truth of the matter is, with both those guys, the jury's still out, and the Seahawks need depth pieces. And Frazier could come in right away and compete potentially for that starting center job for Seattle. His overall grade last year, according to PFF, was near 78. Didn't allow a single sack, just 3 hits on the quarterback and 4 hurries allowed. Frazier was solid for the Mountaineers last season. Seahawks looking for help at the linebacker position as they need a rotational off-ball linebacker. Cedric Gray could be the guy they're looking for as a replacement for Devin Bush, essentially. Cedric Gray, very solid last year in the ACC, playing at the University of North Carolina, an all-conference selection, and very good at getting after the quarterback, too, which isn't something we say a lot about off-ball linebackers, right? 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 4 pass breakups, 1 interception, 121 total tackles. His numbers last year in coverage, and that's been a big emphasis that Mike McDonald has talked about, and what they've invested is they really want guys to be good in coverage. His QB rating allowed was about a 79, less than 250 yards allowed, 1 touchdown. Cedric Gray, a nice work in progress, if you will, a bit of a project, but not a bad option, I think, for Seattle potentially there when we're talking day 2 targets. Chat Sports going to be live for the rest of the draft. We mentioned that we're going to be live on here on Saturday. Well, don't worry. You may be wondering, where am I going to be? Well, I'm going to be over at our Chat Sports main channel. You can join me there as I'll be alongside Tom Downey, Jack Sperry, and a lot of our cast and characters, Matthew Peterson here at Chat Sports. We'll begin our coverage and take you through every single pick of the 2nd and 3rd round with live coverage of the NFL Draft. Don't miss out. Subscribe now. I will see you then coming up on Friday night. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. All right. A guy that is close to my heart as somebody that went to the University of Kansas, I would be thrilled if Austin Booker went from one bird to another, from a Jayhawk to a Seahawk, right? Go Hawks. Austin Booker is still developing, okay? I got to see a lot of this guy last year for KU and really just starting to come into his own and branch out. He's still really learning the position of when it comes to being an edge rusher. Last year, and granted, for as good as his production was, his snap count was actually very limited. Still at 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 12 tackles for loss, 56 tackles. Austin Booker, I think, would be awesome to have in Seattle potentially. Watch out for him. And maybe he slips to day 3 potentially. We'll see. Corner position, a need for Seattle. Not a priority, but certainly a need nonetheless. And one guy that's still hanging around is MICH Sainristill from the University of Michigan. Was a part of the Wolverines national championship this past year, a very crucial part of their defense. And this guy is a turnover machine. 8 turnovers to be exact in 2023 with 6 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles. He's a ball hawk, to say the least, right? His coverage stats last year, he did give up some big plays. You get the good with the bad, but I'll take that. I'll take that for some day 2 value potentially here with what he brings to the table. Last on the list, needs some safety help, right? That's one thing we've talked about with the Seahawks with moving on from Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs. Need some younger bodies in there. Watch out for Cole Bishop from the University of Utah as a potential option for the Seahawks. Does really a bit of everything. He creates turnovers. You can see 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions, gets after the quarterback as well, 3 sacks. 6.5 tackles for loss. He feels like, to me, kind of like a poor man's Kyle Hamilton, if you will. Like a Kirkland or Great Value brand version of sorts. Nice little project. And we saw what Kyle Hamilton did in Mike McDonald's system there in Baltimore. Watch out to see what Cole Bishop could potentially do, the fit for for Seattle here as far as that goes. So there's our list of day 2 potential targets for the Seahawks. We shall see if one of them ultimately ends up in Seattle by the end of the night tonight. We will find out, and we'll break it down for you here on the channel. Let us know, who should the Seahawks draft on day number 2? Give me a name. I've gone through a few names. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for continuing draft coverage all weekend, and we will see you next time here on Seahawks Today.